Welcome to Magic on Tap, the Magic the Gathering and beer review podcast. I'm Xavier.
And I'm Jack.
And today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We somehow managed to slip in an episode in between set releases, which is fucking insane. So we are going to be talking about the Great American Beer Festival results this episode. And we are also going to be talking about our favorite cards for 5 of the classic Magic tribes and 5 of our favorite trash tribal tribes.
Love trash tribal.
Who doesn't? If listener Tammy, we're 4 episodes in. If you don't know we like trash tribal, I can't help you. So yeah, we're ready to do it. It's gonna be probably a bigger episode today, but we'll fucking find out. It's going to be a little bit more beer heavy, so stay tuned. You get to listen to even more unfiltered opinions on things we kind of know about.
But we're absolutely right about.
Yeah, because that's how opinions work. But before we get into all that, Jack, what you pouring?
I am starting off with Allagash White from Allagash Brewing Company. This is a pretty common one, so listener Ben, you've probably heard of this one. Allagash is a brewery in Portland, Maine, that has been around. So the white is just a wheat beer, and it won. I have to double check. I think silver. Oh, it actually won gold in 2020, silver in 2021 at the Great American Beer Festival.
Yeah, and sorry, I forgot to say that we are doing, in honor of GABF results, we are doing beers that have either currently won, as in this last year, or beers that have medaled in the past, so all throughout GABF history.
Yes.
Okay, so you got Allagash White. It's pretty much a staple of the style. I think if you look at the BJCP guidelines for that style of beer, they literally list that as one of these staple examples. And if you guys aren't familiar with BJCP, it is the Beer Judge Certification Program. They're basically I'm just trying to think of a correct way to say this. They are the guys that make sure that people are making beers true to the style that it should be. And that's something that's interesting about GABF. It's not just like the best beer wins. It's the best beer for the style wins. So there are a lot of awards given out. It's given out to each style, and then if you submit your beer, you can write whatever style it is, and then whoever holds truest in the judges' eyes to that style medals. And obviously they take into account individuality in addition to what the beer is supposed to taste like, depending on what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So my first beer today, I'm going to be drinking Unite the Clans from Third Space Brewing.
Oh, that doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right. And you're right. It's a Scottish-style ale, so that's where the clans are coming from, not like the clan that we're used to in the States. But it did something very interesting. It medaled 3 consecutive years in a row, which is pretty unheard of. That really doesn't happen that much in GABF. And that's because a lot of beer competitions are subjective. It's whatever the judges are drinking, and it's whoever you're matched up with, because they do it in tiers. They match you up against a bunch of stuff, and then they just kind of go down the line until they narrow it down to something. But it won gold in 2017, it won silver in 2018, and it won silver in 2019. So pretty impressive. What are you tasting on your first sip, Jack?
Yeah, I would agree with the GABF judges that this is very close to what I would say just a classic kind of Belgian style wit beer. It's not offensive at all. It's not trying to do anything crazy either. So, real solid. What do you think of yours?
I really like this beer. And so it's worth mentioning that it won. It was submitted for rye beer was the category. So
Mm.
you do get a lot of that rye taste, and rye and beer usually comes through with like a little spiciness. And then when people say spicy, they don't mean hot. They mean more of like a peppercorn kind of taste,
Yeah.
or like a spiced kind of taste. So you get a lot of that. You get a lot of the caramel that you would get in a Scottish style ale. And it's just solid, man. It's still pretty light, which I like. I like beers that taste like they should be heavier than they are, if that makes any sense. Like
Yeah.
the body is lighter, but it has those deeper notes that I'm looking for. And it's only 5.8, so it's pretty easy. And there's only 25 IBUs in it. It says so right on the can.
No. Oh my god, that means it's really not bitter at all.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I love Scotch. I love a good Scotch ale, so I'm very
Yeah.
used to this style. That's just kind of what I've always liked. But if you don't have anything else, I guess we can move into the untap step.
Let's.
Yeah, listener, one listener. You've been here before, so you know. So thanks for listening in, Georgia. But for the new listener, David, the untap step is the step where we read off untapped reviews about the beers we're drinking. Because Untapped is a cool platform, but everyone that uses it is a fucking idiot except for us.
Yes.
So we just read reviews that we think are funny or reviews that are insane, and that's what we do because we just like to complain. So
Yeah. We also make our own reviews on there, so if you want to see the reviews that we make, you can go on Untapped, search for Magic Untapped. You'll see the reviews that we make. We do them in the style of Magic cards, so that's kind of fun.
yeah, it's something different. We always give everything 5 stars. So if you want to actually see our
course.
real take on the beer, listen to the episode. If you just want to see something cool because we're awesome and hilarious and you literally can't go wrong, then look at our Untapped reviews.
Yeah. So I'll start off with my Untapped reviews. I have one here from Sean A. And again, this is on the Allagash White. He gave it 3, and I guess that's 3/4 out of 5, and he just says beer. And, I can respect
He's right.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a beer. That's all there is to say about that. Beer. Yep. All right. Moving on. Erica H. checking in from Jimmy's Woodlawn Tap. I don't know if that's Woodlawn in Charlotte or not, but it is not, actually. It's in Chicago. Erica gave this 1 3/4. Yeah, I guess that's 3/4 out of 5. No review or anything, but I chose this one because it stands out for having such a low score among all the high ones, and the picture that she posted with it is kind of unhinged. It's like a guy holding, it looks like a half pint glass, and he's got his front teeth in it, and he's smiling. He's just like hanging his teeth off of it. Very
beautiful.
weird. I don't know what the fuck that's about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks like a ventriloquist dummy.
Oh my god, he does.
I don't know if it's because of how his mouth is, but he straight up look. Oh, that's unsettling.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the picture. I'm definitely doxing this person.
Yeah, fuck it. That picture's on Untapped.
Yeah, it's very strange. I don't know what is up with that. And then my last one, coming from Todd G at Village Tap. He says, well, first he gave it 4 out of 5. He says, a little more lemony than I wanted right now, but it's probably the best made beer I've had tonight. Just feels like everything is in its place. Okay. There's a weird thing that happens on Untapped where people give this very like subjective account of like, oh, I'm drinking this right now. I've had 5 beers before this, like, you know.
Right. So it's like they can't separate it anymore, and they're just each review gets more relative because their palate's been violated by probably like this 3 other hazies they had before this Allagash White.
Yeah. And I guess a little more lemony. It could maybe seem lemony, maybe, because I mean a wit beer has got some of those a little bit more sour notes, but that's just weird to me.
It is weird. It's not how I would ever describe a wit beer. Maybe if somebody said that when I was taking a sip, I would notice it, and that's what's very interesting about beer is that I'll hear somebody describe something in a new way I've never heard before, and then you take that sip, and with that at top of mind, you can start to pick up on that. And I've had wit beers or Hefeweizens that people substitute lemon in for that traditional like banana clove flavor, and it's very complimentary, but I would never describe a wit beer as lemony, so it's weird.
It is very unusual way to describe that. But that's all I've got for my Untapped reviews. What have you got?
All right, first one is coming from Nick N at the Explorium Brew Pub.
Wow.
Yep. And listener Tyler, female Tyler, not male Tyler. I mentioned in episode 2, and this is a deep cut, and you're like, how does he remember this? Because newsflash, I am the listener. I'm the only person that listens to this podcast. Episode 2, I was going to talk about my take on flights, and I never did, and now it's coming back. Because Nick N gives Unite the Clans 3 out of 5 stars, and he says, $12 flight for maybe 18 ounces. Screw this place. In 26 years, this is the most I've ever paid for a flight, and I do flights all the time. Insane. These guys are very full of themselves. So, let me explain to you why this flight costs $12 for 18 ounces. And also, that is pretty competitive. That is not a lot.
Yeah.
Granted, this is in Wisconsin, so things are a little bit different. That might be a little overpriced. But the reason there is a premium on flights is because pouring a flight when you work at a brewery is a fuck. Sorry, that burp went in my soul and came out. I felt like it came out of my mouth.
You're like, oh, did I just burp?
Yeah. I felt like it wasn't your burp, it was our burp.
Comrade.
Pouring flights when you work at a brewery is the worst fucking thing.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about it is that nobody's going to drink the flight in a timely fashion. They are going to check in every beer on Untapped. And it's not a full beer. There's a lot of beers that I didn't like on a sample, and then I had a full glass of it, and it really changes how that beer drinks. Mm-hmm. And most flights, like the place I work in, a lot of places in Charlotte, they give you 5-ounce pours, so it's usually 20 ounces. And they usually run $12 to $13 per flight for 20 ounces. But, I mean, 5 ounces is not a lot, really, to try something. And then if somebody orders a flight and they order, let's say you get 4 5-ounce pours and somebody orders 4 IPAs and they go sit out in the patio in the sun.
Oh, God.
Those beers are going to skunk so fast. We live in Jack and I live in North Carolina. Yeah, the sun is going to hit that and cook it. So by the time they get to number 4, it's going to suck. And they're going to give it a shitty Untapped review based on 5 ounces of a beer. That's backwash. So this place is full of themselves. They're not. They just don't want you to order a flight, and you're the fucking idiot that paid for it. So,
and
they hated you.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think you mentioned this, but like the other thing about ordering a flight is like, yeah, you could get 16 ounces for $6 or $7 or whatever, but when you order a flight, they have to pour 4 beers instead of just one.
They have to pour 4 beers, and then they have to wait for you to pick 4 fucking beers. You can't even pick one, which is why you order a flight, right? I've ordered flights.
Yeah.
So you can't pick one, so you pick 4, but then you have to pick 4 when you can't pick one. And usually you're in line trying to pick 4 beers, so you're holding up
and
everyone
you're
else.
Let me try this one. Okay, I'll get that in the flight too. I hate that shit.
Oh, yeah. If you order a sample so you can decide what goes into your flight, I
hate you.
Die.
You can say it.
Perish.
Yeah, I hate you.
Fucking perish.
Perish. Yes.
So, flights. Honestly, if you go somewhere and they have a bunch of shit you want to try, fine, get a flight. But if you get a flight and then you just fucking leave... If you get a flight and you're like, can I have a sticker? And then you leave and you're like, I went to that brewery. You didn't. You didn't go to that brewery.
You got a flight, you let it immediately skunk, and then you said, I don't like this one.
Yeah, you gave everything 3 stars, like this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then you fucked off. And you're like, I've been to 400 breweries. I've had 400 flights. I don't know what anything tastes like. The idea is you get a flight, you find the beer you like, and then you order a full fucking pint of it like a human. So, that's it. That's my rant on flights. We don't ever have to do this again. But
there will be more rants, probably in this episode.
Yeah, if you don't treat a flight for what it is, then you're probably using Untapped. So this is for you.
Yeah. You're a beer expert. Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck you. On to review number 2. This one's from Jim S. It's not checked in from anywhere, so I don't know how he did this. He says, is a very good Scottish ale, gives it 3.75 stars, because Jim S., and this is the reason he got selected, did what we all did when we first had a Facebook, where you would just write, is having a good day, because it said your name in big letters. So it'd be like, Xavier, whatever the fuck my last name is having a good day. He says, Unite the Clans is a very good Scottish ale, and that just made me feel nostalgic, so... I'm not really here to yell at Jim S. It just reminds me of a different time.
A time before Facebook ruined our fucking entire democracy. Well, accelerated the ruining of our entire democracy.
Yeah, this was before I had to put alerts and timers on my social media apps, so I wasn't just ruining my fucking life scrolling, because it was a simpler time back then.
Yeah, fuck social media.
Yeah, fuck social media. But if you don't follow us on social, then you should.
then fuck you.
We're Magic on Tap on all the socials. Plug for IG.
IG, YT, TW...
TNT.
TNT.
It's just
ACME.
GABF. Okay, I got one more review from Doug at Tavern on Woodlake. He says, "Freedom!" Willie Wallace would love this if he weren't drawn and quartered. 4.25 stars.
Oh my god!
Bold, very bold. Oh, and his profile picture is him doing the Superman stand. Like, he's like, yeah, I wrote that shit.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know if he was so much drawn and quartered as much as had his balls chopped off and his head put on a pike, but, you know.
He was quartered in the sense that, like, you would quarter a steak into smaller pieces. Yeah, so that's all I got for my Untapped stuff.
Oh my god. I feel like I'm in that fucking Scotland Forever video when you said freedom. Have you seen that?
Yeah! Oh god, that hurt. Yeah. But buy singles, by the way. 'Cause then you
Oh
can try
yes,
weird beers, and then it's good to try beers that have won medals in the past, so you can see like, oh, this is what is supposed to be indicative of the style. That doesn't mean you're gonna fucking like it. Don't get me wrong, because there's a lot of things that have won medals that I really don't care about at all. We'll get into that a little bit more in a second here, but yeah, buy singles.
buy singles
Unless,
of beer and of Magic cards.
yeah, unless it's really good.
Well, yeah, obviously, if you try something and it's really good, then obviously you buy packs of it. But
Yeah, buy singles. Eat that markup that they're charging you for, because
yeah,
well, we don't need to talk. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna slide in the first main here, so we're gonna be talking about GABF a little bit more in depth. It says in our show notes, GABF. What the fuck is it? We already kind of talked about it. GABF, like we were saying, Great American Beer Festival. That we're just going to be calling it GABF because somehow it's easier. I think there's a couple less syllables in it.
there are several fewer syllables in that.
Yeah, that's what I said. A couple. I'll clap it out right now. But we're just going to be kind of going over, since we're based out of Charlotte, we're just going to be shouting out a couple breweries that won this year for North Carolina. Charlotte actually came in pretty hard this year.
Yeah.
We have what? Let me check it out. Do you have it pulled up? Cause
I have a few things pulled up. Yeah. So, there's one that's kind of close to us. Protagonist. They got a silver for their Sir Marcus, which is an English bitter.
That was last year.
That was last year. Shit, hold on, I forgot to change the years.
You're good. I got it pulled up. They got a silver for Franz, or Franz. I'm sure it's Franz, but also come at me.
Yeah, that's...
It is their Dortmunder, or German-style Oktoberfest was the category it was entered in. So they got a silver for their Oktoberfest. I will say it is pretty solid. I really enjoyed it. I had a can of it myself. And they also won a gold for Bizarro, which is entered in the American Belgio style ale, or Belgo, or bagel. I don't know how to pronounce that word. It's BELGO. So definitely not bagel, but this is their second year in a row of getting a gold and a silver for 2 beers. So they've been killing it lately. And if you are listening to this, one person who's listening, Brandon, who is probably actually the only person.
Brandon probably is listening.
Yeah. Go to Protagonist. I don't know if you need to go to the one on South End. It's good. It's their bigger one. It's just South End blows. Come at me.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd rather go to South End than Noda, so.
That's true. It's easier to park. We don't need to get into that. It's not the Charlotte Review Podcast.
It's the Charlotte Review Podcast. That's what we're doing now.
So we got a couple from Protagonist. We got one from Goose and the Monkey Brew House, which they also sound like they have a morning talk show.
Yeah. It's Goose and the Monkey.
103.8, starring Goose and the Monkey. Yeah. And true to a morning talk show, their beer, Seductive Mullet Amber Ale, came in with a silver. We got one called Slurp from Noda Brewing Company.
Yes.
They got a bronze. Old Hickory, which is probably one of the more well-known places in North Carolina, I think.
I love Old Hickory.
Old Hickory is really, really well-known for their barrel-aged stuff. They do a lot of really solid dark beer.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Event Horizon by Old Hickory. Fucking slaps.
Yes.
Definitely get your hands on it if you can. They won a bronze for Shere Khan in the experimental wood-aged beer category, so I would be very interested. Shere Khan? That makes a lot more sense.
That's. Have you ever seen The Jungle Book?
Yeah, that's Shere Khan.
Wait, did I say Shere Khan?
Yeah.
I gotta fucking look this up.
It's not Shera Khan, it's Shere Khan. Actually, it's Shaka Khan, so get
It's Shaka
fucked.
Khan.
It's Sierra Nevada won a bronze this year for Sunny Little Thing. If you haven't had that, then I don't know what to fucking do for you. You can get Sierra Nevada anywhere. I mean, obviously, their pale ale is literally like
Oh my god.
the staple for American pale ales. That is what an American pale ale is Sierra Nevada's pale ale.
Yes.
They pretty much.
I
created
feel
the
like
category.
Sierra Nevada like almost shouldn't be able to enter under North Carolina.
Yeah, right. Because like, how do they not win that? Because every
they so if you don't know, Sierra Nevada is. I mean, I assume anybody that drinks beer knows what Sierra Nevada is, but they started out in California. They opened another very large location in North Carolina, but they the majority of their stuff has for most of the time has come from California. So I'm like, it's the same beer that
Right.
has been like designed in California. I don't know if they should.
It's interesting. And the reason Sierra Nevada even opened up a location in North Carolina is because Asheville specifically, the elevation and the water content is, I think, identical to their location in California, which is why they opened up this spot, because they wanted it to be identical. So, it, like what you're saying, it is the same beer for all intents and purposes.
Right.
I don't know if Sunny Little Thing is the only thing they brew. It's probably split up by what they actually brew here versus what they brew elsewhere.
They brew their staples here too, so
yeah. And then what else we got? Lenny Boy, who in Charlotte is really mostly known for their kombuchas. I feel like won a gold actually for a fruited wood and barrel aged sour beer, which is a lot. That's a big. There's enough, I guess, entrants for that category to make it a whole separate category. And we got
that's interesting. Did you say the name of it?
I didn't at all. It's Pulmonary Groove.
It's Pulmonary Groove.
Oh my fucking god. I bet that's pretty good. The last plum beer I had was actually, it was a barrel aged sour. And it was really good. I don't like stone fruit. So this is a weird thing that we haven't talked about yet. So buckle your seat, Travis, listener. I would almost call it a phobia. I have a phobia of fruit. It fucking stresses me out.
Wow.
It's just truly disgusting to me. Fruit is fucking gross.
Do you have scurvy?
No. I
Do
don't
you drink
mind.
a lot of beer?
Yeah, I don't mind fruit flavored things. I don't mind citrus, but any other fruit. And I like citrus specifically because it's got like that membrane and holds everything together, and it's not soggy and super juicy and disgusting and fucking. I can't talk about it. I'm just gonna fall down.
Wow.
Pineapple never gets cold. Can we talk about that? Are we just gonna all pretend like pineapple gets cold? You put that shit in the fridge, and 4 hours later, it is still lukewarm. Like you bite into it, and it's not all the way cold. It feels like somebody took it out of the fridge 10 minutes ago.
Oh my god, this is a revelation.
And then like fucking fruit salad, you're just gonna eat that? All the fruits are just like mixing their gross juices together? I don't want to. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're sliding up against each other.
I can't. I can't talk about it. Oh god.
Oh my god, I never knew this about you.
I hate fruit so much. I fucking hate fruit, dude. I love veggies though. Word up. I like crisp.
Yeah.
Not juicy, disgusting fruit. Yeah, so that's a. I'm just so quirky. I'm not like other guys.
Do you like tomatoes?
Is that a joke?
I don't know.
Oh, it's funny because my distaste for tomatoes is well known. It's on my CV, actually, if you pull up. I fucking hate tomatoes. They're so juicy, and it's just bland. Hey, your food's pretty good, right? Would you like a layer of fucking mush on your sandwich?
Yeah, do you want to make that fucking soggy before you eat it?
And then every person that's ever put a fucking beefsteak tomato slice on my sandwich, fuck off. Do you want more of it? Just like a big fat fucking fuck off slice of tomato on your sandwich? No, leave. No. I like ketchup. I'll put up with salsa, and that is like the most. I'll eat.
I won't even. I don't like salsa really.
See, but if you get like what is that? Paso picante salsa. It's got chunks of peppers, but it really doesn't have chunks of tomatoes in it. And then there's like Dunky in it, and it's got some good Dunky. Little Dunkaroony. And then what else we got? So I'm just moving right on. I can't talk about. We could talk about. Okay, welcome to Magic on Tap, the beer and I fucking hate fruit review podcast. That's all. So I'm just going to move on. Old Hickory actually won 2. They won 1 for an old ale or strong ale or barley wine, which is a category, and that's insane. They got a bronze. It's called Hillcrest. I've never tried it. I'm just churning through stuff right now because I want to talk about Legion winning a gold for their cold IPA.
Yeah.
I'm not going to shit talk this brewery.
Okay.
Because they do make some good stuff.
Yeah.
They're a Juicy J factory, and they know it.
Yes.
It's to the point where I don't even necessarily... I don't like Juicy J because it's a hazy. It's not for me. But what makes me truly detest it is every fucking person that is obsessed with Juicy J. Because it is staple hazy, bro. Like, oh yeah, fucking can I get a Juicy J? Does it say Legion on our wall? No! You can't get a fucking Juicy J. We make our own beer!
Yeah, when you put in the Uber earlier, did you put in fucking Legion?
Yeah, stop asking for Juicy J. And they just... whatever. So they won a gold for their cold IPA, which, if you ever had a cold IPA, what makes it cold is that the yeast is cold fermenting. So that makes it a lager. So it's not really an IPA, it's an IPL. It's an Indian Pale Lager. A cold IPA is really just a hoppy lager.
Yeah.
But it sells more to call it a cold IPA because then you get IPA
fucking
bros.
IPA bros, yeah.
Yeah. And then you also... Pilsner crowds are weird because... Your fucking dad likes a Pilsner, but he means Miller Lite. He doesn't mean a pseudo IPA. So that's kind of how cold IPA has become a thing. It's really more about marketing. It's like calling a Saison a farmhouse ale, so it doesn't scare people. Yeah. Which you have to do. Those are just like little tricks of the trade. So that's kind of a peek behind the curtain for you. Cold IPAs. Just hoppy lagers. And yeah, what else? Whistle Hop Brewing in North Carolina won a bronze for their molasses pumpkin. Märzen.
Märzen.
Or however the fuck you say it. I say Marzen.
It doesn't matter. Just say fest beer. Who cares?
Yeah. And yeah, that's kind of what North Carolina is pulling. I've kind of blacked out for a second, so
I'm just glad that we weren't all like IPAs. Like there's some golds that were in some interesting styles. So
yeah, and honestly, anytime a state that's not California or Colorado wins for an IPA, I'm actually impressed because GABF is held in Denver, right? It's held in Denver, Colorado. So when you send out your beer is kind of dependent on where you are. And that's the thing too, is that like shipping this stuff, you have to wrap it like it's glass, because you ship out cans, you ship out bottles, it goes in the post, it could get shaken up.
Yeah.
I mean, all that stuff can play into how this beer tastes at the end of it. And in California and Colorado or like Seattle, they have a lot of access to fresh hops. Most people get pellets shipped out from those places like Yakima Valley.
Yeah.
And it's not going to compare to a fresh hopped beer. And people in California can wait a little bit longer to send their stuff out because it doesn't have to travel as far. So, and that affects how the beer ends up tasting as well. So anytime a place outside of California wins something for an IPA, I'm kind of impressed, because if you look, a lot of IPA winners are from the great state of CA.
Yeah.
But that's their fucking thing, you know?
Yup. Sure is.
Do you have anything else to say about GABF? Because I have a couple things I want to say.
Well, go ahead. Say what you want to say.
Okay, I just have some beer names that I found from this year's winner that I wanted to highlight because I love them. They're just funny ass beer names. So, since we've talked about them a lot, we're going to mention for my favorite beer names, Frog King from King's Court Brewing Company in Poughkeepsie, New York. They got a bronze for American Amber / Red Ale, and we all know... Oh, okay. Well, I won't get into it now because we're going to talk about frogs in Trash Tribal because you have to.
Hell yeah.
Also, Hooked on Onyx from 10 Mile Brewing Company is dope. Shout out to anyone that grew up with us and had to watch those fucking Hooked on Phonics commercials.
Yeah.
Nose Goblin from Ghost Town Brewing in Oakland, California. Dope. And my favorite beer name of this year that won a medal, we have Anheuser Kush from Flatland Brewing Company.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. Oh, God. Anheuser Kush. That's a good one.
Is that all the names you have? Because I actually do have a couple.
Yep, that is all I got. What do you got?
This one, Fat Pug. Maplewood Brewing Company in Chicago. Good name. Love that. Full Malted Jacket from Beechwood Barbecue and Brewing in Huntington Beach, California.
Ooh, that's a
won
good
a
one.
gold. It's a Scotch ale. Actually, Fat Pug also won a gold. But Full Malted Jacket, and it's a Scotch ale. That's good. That is a flavor win. That's pretty much it. I like those.
Yeah, those are good. Keep coming up with cool beer names. That makes me want to drink your beer.
Yes.
Even if I don't care about the style. I have purchased and drank beers that I don't like the style just because the can art and the name was cool.
Yes. Absolutely.
Shout out to Bat Squatch by Rogue because I love it. It's a Sasquatch bat.
Rogue has some fucking great labels.
It does. Dead Guy Ale is cool. It jumps off of a shelf, and it's just a good beer. So,
yeah.
If you haven't had Dead Guy... Was that?
I was just saying Rogue is solid.
Yeah, Rogue makes good shit. I think they're out of California as well. Or Colorado. One of them. The places that make beer. But that's kind of all I got for GABF. Are you through your beer yet, or is it just me?
Yes, I am now.
Cool. What are you drinking next?
I'm drinking Protagonist Franz. So this is the one that we mentioned earlier. I think you said it won a silver this year at GABF. Made by a Protagonist here in Charlotte. It's just a solid fest beer.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, the next one I'm going to be talking about is a bit of an underdog. It's been in the game. It's been in the game for a while, but it has never won a gold medal, which is crazy. So A little background on GABF. GABF started in 1982. So this beer has been winning medals really almost since the inception of GABF. So it's a oldie but a goodie. I will list off all its accolades really shortly. I'm pulling it up because I don't know how technology works. But it first medaled in 1989. Got a silver.
Wow.
Medaled a bronze in 1999. Another silver in 2004. Another bronze in 2005. Another silver in 2006. Silver 2009 and a silver in 2013. So it wins medals. It's just never quite there. It is in the category American Pilsner. It's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it's fucking Miller High Life. We did it, boys! We snuck it in! Guess what? I didn't even drink it yet. This shit is dope. What does your first sip taste like?
I don't know yet. I was busy anticipating the twist.
So I knew I was gonna drink this beer for our GABF episode the moment since its inception, because I know it's been winning medals. So I fucking, as soon as I pitched, I was like, oh, we should do an episode on GABF and just drink past winners. I always planned
just
on
innocently like, oh, that'll be a cool idea.
Oh yeah, I paid $6 for 4 16-ounce cans of this. You're never gonna beat that.
Yeah.
I was flabbergasted. I thought somebody gave me a mad discount at the shop we were at, and I just realized I'm drinking High Life. And the guy was like, "Yeah, you bought a 4-pack of High Life. What did you think this was gonna cost?"
Yeah, he was. He was like, "Yeah, it's High Life, dude."
Yeah. And he looked at me like I was an alien. I reacted like, you ever see the old infomercials where it'd almost be like a trade show special on TV where somebody would be showing off a rotisserie cooker and there would be plants in the audience and they're like, wow, really? That value's so good. That's how I reacted to him telling me that this High Life pack was $6. I was like a paid actor.
After he told you, like, you were hugging it.
I was hugging it. It was weird. Everyone looked at me weird.
Oh, God. Anyway.
I love High Life.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and talk about my Untapped reviews before this goes into a worse place. I just have one for this one. So this is from Spencer S. He gave Franz from Protagonist 2.75 out of 5. And he just says decent malty beer, not something I would order again. I'm gonna have to say this like every time we talk about Untapped reviews, but if there's something that you didn't like, just don't fucking get it again. I have so many words trying to come out of my mouth right now that I can't say all of them.
Right.
This guy is like, he says decent malty beer. Okay, cool. Not something I would order again. Why? You didn't say why. Why don't you like it?
Right.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, did you leave it in the sun? He posted a picture of the plastic cup that he had it in on a table, and it's in the sun, so, like, you probably left it in the fucking sun, you dumbass.
Right. And, I think in its inception, Untapped was kind of created as a space for the consumer to interact with brewers and maybe give them constructive feedback and things they could look out for. But Untapped is basically when you read something to someone and you're like, what do you think? And they just say, it sucks. And you're like, cool, why does it suck? And they're like, I don't know, it just sucks. And you're like, oh, wow, that's not helpful at all. Wow. That's all an Untapped is.
Completely useless. Great.
Yeah, thanks.
And,
You hurt my feelings, and you didn't give me anything to change.
And I think this is a pretty good fest beer, you know? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So, Spencer, explain.
Spencer, explain.
That's all I got.
I got one from Jacob H, and it's not checked in anywhere. He gave it 3.25 stars, and he says, Mama Mima. Mama space Mima.
Mama Mima.
Yeah, it's like a weird discount Borat where he's like, wah, wah, wah. And then we have one from Stephen H checking it in from Logan's Alley, which I would like to think is his friend's alley and not a real place. He says, Chaser for a Bloody Mary. Still fucking terrible. This beer is ass, my dude. 0.5 stars.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess he just doesn't like champagne. So,
to be fair, champagne is kind of ass.
Yeah, but the champagne of beers
yeah.
is for a different breed, my friend.
I do like beer.
I like beer in the form of champagne. I like high life.
I like beer because it is good. It are good with pizza.
Oh, wow. That is a fucking Psycho Stick reference?
Yeah, it is.
Are you kidding me? Dude, we're sponsored, actually.
Yeah, we're sponsored by Psycho Stick.
I think they put out an album not that long ago. Stop listening to this and go see if I'm right.
I think.
Yeah, which is not that long ago for a Psycho Stick.
Yeah.
I thought they were dead. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember they had one they had a song called "I Can Only Count to 4."
Welcome to Magic on Tap, the beer and Psycho Stick review podcast.
Stop what you're doing. Go listen to Psycho Stick.
Actually, if you haven't heard Psycho Stick, then go listen to it. Watch the beer song and watch the old early YouTube versions of beer song where it was stock photos on a PowerPoint.
Oh my god.
You know exactly.
Low fucking quality, like 2000 megahertz quality sound.
Oh yeah, and like stick figures. And then when you're done watching Psycho Stick, go listen to fucking 55.
Yeah. Oh god, this has gone off the rails.
Yeah, we can't talk about this anymore.
I have an update on Spencer S. With his shitty fucking review of Protagonist. I went to his page. He has rated. There is nothing above a 3 so far. Oh no, there's one thing. Floridian by Funky Buddha, which I've had some Funky Buddha stuff. It's pretty good. He gave it 3.25.
Oh my god! How many check-ins does he have?
Oh, let's fucking find out. He has 153 unique check-ins.
I'm gonna cry.
I can't find anything. Oh wait, here's one on Tucker Ellis Hefeweizen. 4 stars he gave it, but most of the things he has not gone above a 3. And I'm starting to think that Spencer S. just doesn't like beer.
Maybe he would like some champagne.
He might like some champagne.
Yeah. Wow. Spencer, 180 times and you can't get over the halfway mark. Maybe it's just time to stop.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to like beer.
Exactly. You don't have to like beer. You can drink something else. If you like seltzer, fine. That's fine.
Whoever's making you drink beer and check it in, I'm very sorry, Spencer. But we're here for you. Just stop checking in beer.
Stop it. Get some help.
Put it down. Put
the beer down. You don't have to drink it. It's okay.
I just picture like people farming out Untapped reviews. You just walk into a basement and there's all these people crying and like giving beers like 2.5 stars, and they're just being force fed beer they don't want. All right, are you ready to talk about tribes?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking through these and it's just
All right, we need to get out of the hole. We're falling down the hole.
okay, yes, I'm ready to
We
talk
gotta
about
dig
tribes.
out. Okay, so in honor of GABF giving out awards for beer styles, we are going to give out awards in the form of cards we like for some of Magic's most famous tribes.
Yeah, our
Specifically,
awards are worth more.
they are worth more, and they're way more relative.
Yeah.
There are barely any guidelines for these. So we're going to be talking about 5 tribes today, and we'll get into some of the stuff we left out as soon as I finish talking. So we're going to be talking about dragons, zombies, vampires, elves, and goblins. We are not talking about slivers, and that's mostly because slivers all do the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You're really not putting, unless you're trying to do a goddamn wombo combo deck, you're really not putting a sliver in a deck outside of a sliver deck. You know what I mean? So, unless you're trying to cascade a bunch. Because slivers all just pump up slivers. So, obviously, they're great tribal decks because that's all they do. Like, every fucking sliver pumps up other slivers.
Yeah.
It's
all right,
disgusting.
we don't need to talk about slivers anymore.
I know. I just keep saying sliver. So
Can't stop.
Those are the real tribes we're talking about. Our trash tribal tribes, our boys. The things that we love to talk about. We're going to be talking about frogs, Viashinos, lizards, minions, and thralls.
Yes.
Yes.
Love some trash tribal.
Who doesn't? Trash tribal is the best. We're like a third of the Magic population, assuming that everyone sticks strictly to archetypes. We love trash. There's dozens of us. So dragons first up. Who do you like? What dragon's notable in the tribe? What do you think exemplifies dragons to you?
So this isn't necessarily like our favorite dragon or the best dragon. It's just a dragon that we like at the time. And looking through the dragons on Scryfall.com sponsor.
Please sponsor us.
Yeah, please sponsor us. I picked Bone Dragon solely because of the name. Yeah, because Bone Dragon fucks.
What is
Clearly.
What does Bone Dragon do?
I guess that would be useful to know. Bone Dragon.
Well, I know he fucks, but like...
Bone Dragon is black, and 3 for creature dragon. Wow, creature dragon skeleton is a 5/4 flying. He has black, and 3. Exile 7 other cards from your graveyard. Return Bone Dragon from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So, it's a recursion thing. Not a super great card, because you have to pay 5 mana and exile 7 cards from your graveyard to return it. It's not a great card. I just like the name. Bone Dragon. He's a dragon skeleton.
Oh, I do love skeleton sub-creature types.
Yeah.
And, like, we'll get into it, but, like, zombie sub-creature types I fucking love. My dragon is a dragon that you and I are familiar with, and the one listener, Terry, again, I've mentioned this name before.
Yeah.
If you have listened to all our episodes, you've heard mention of this dragon. I'm talking about Vorosh the fucking hunter.
You know what I did? I just picked up my fucking cup. There he is.
Yeah, so Vorosh, if you haven't heard before, you're about to hear again. He is 3 colorless: forest, island, swamp. He is a 6/6 with flying, legendary creature dragon. He's an elder dragon.
Is he an elder dragon?
He is. Oh. I'm pretty sure he is. Whenever Vorosh the Hunter deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 3, 2 colorless, 1 green mana. If you do, put 6 1/1 counters on Vorosh. So he's already a 6/6 with flying. If you hit someone, which you're probably going to fucking do in a game of Commander, which is the format we play, and we're assuming Vorosh is going to be your commander. If you hit someone and you pay 3, he suddenly becomes a 12/12. So Vorosh is a very real threat when it comes to commander damage, which is, when you're playing in a casual format, I have maybe been in 2 games where somebody's died from commander damage before. It just doesn't fucking happen. I think that's part of the reason why I've had a Vorosh deck, and Jack has had holy shit. Jack has a Vorosh deck, and neither of us play him because, we could just kill someone with commander damage.
He's just going to get shot.
Yeah, and that's also why we're not playing this game to kill someone with commander damage. I'm trying to do something weird.
Yeah, it's true. He's not an Elder Dragon, by the way.
All right, well, there it is. If you have your bingo card out, you can stamp Xavier was really fucking wrong, but confident about it on your bingo card.
Oh, that's in the free space.
Oh, God, my life is a joke.
No, wait.
Is that a free space?
No, I don't like where this is going now.
My backup dragon is Catacomb Dragon, and I don't know if you've ever seen him before. I've always just liked this card. I remember buying it as a single at a card shop when I first started playing. Catacomb Dragon is 4 colorless and 2 black pips for a 4/4 with flying. It's from the Mirage set, and I've always liked Mirage. I don't know why. Some of the art goes really fucking hard in Mirage, and there's not that many good cards. Don't get me wrong. This is not a good card, but I fucking like it, and it's got a weird ability. Whenever Catacomb Dragon is blocked by any non-artifact, non-dragon creature, that creature's power is halved, rounded up until end of turn. And I bought it because that's just a weird thing to do. That's just weird. It's weird, and I kind of like it. And it's an expensive mana cost for a 4/4 with flying,
right,
with a weird ability. But Catacomb Dragon, I think I like you.
Yeah, he's also on the reserved list, so he must be good.
He must have been good when he came out in Mirage.
In Mirage, yeah.
They never update the reserved list to reflect current standard.
But they also printed Enlightened Tutor, Worldly Tutor, and Mystical Tutor in Mirage, so...
Yeah, and those aren't on the fucking reserved list, are they?
No, they're not.
Whoa! Shout out to Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Please
sponsor us.
So that's what I got for dragons. What do you got for zombies?
Oh, man. I have one of my favorite zombies ever. I had a standard deck built around him in original Innistrad. Best standard to ever happen to Magic.
Yeah.
Grimgrin Corpseborn. He is a Chad. Just look at that fucking art. He's a black, a blue, and 3 for legendary creature, zombie warrior. Grimgrin enters the battlefield tapped and doesn't untap during your untap step. Wow, sounds shitty. Sacrifice another creature, untap him, and put a +1/+1 counter on him. And then whenever he attacks, destroy target creature defending player controls, then put a +1/+1 counter on Grimgrin. So pretty fucking good. Yeah. He gets bigger and you destroy a creature that the defending player controls. Kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, especially with the second set of Innistrad, when you have Decayed Zombies being a thing and you can just sack fucking Decayed Zombies like it's your job, and
Yep.
Tippity tap, get him all big.
Yeah, so I upgraded my original zombie deck from the original Innistrad. Added like Jadar, which I should probably read out. So Jadar Ghoulcaller Nephalia is 1 black and 1 for legendary creature, human wizard. He's a 1/1. That doesn't really matter. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with Decayed, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. So, like, I mean, if you get him out early on and you have a Grimgrin, you can pretty easily pump him up. Yeah, so he's real good.
Yeah. You got any other ones or just that boy?
Just that. I love him.
Yeah. I have my zombie was actually from, speaking of Innistrad, he's from the new set. Whatever the fuck Innistrad that was. Dark Side of the Moon? Did I just make that up?
Dark Side of the Moon?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Midnight Hunt?
That one. I don't even like Pink Floyd. Welcome to Magic on Tap, the beer and Pink Floyd review podcast.
Yeah. I can't believe that new single Pink Floyd put out.
Yeah, that new single that was 45 minutes long. Anyway, my zombie is Champion of the Perished. It is 1 for a 1/1. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Champion of the Perished. And I don't know, man. I just like this card. The art is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Something that I really loved about him is that, as you were talking about before, we both played the first release of Innistrad, the first set of Innistrad. And I remember having back when I would occasionally play White Weenies, I remember having a human deck and having Champion of the Parish, which is whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Champion of the Parish. So when this card came out, I was like, oh my god, they made a zombie version of him.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's just such a cool tie-in. The art is cool, and it's a really good card. I mean, Champion of the Parish was getting run like crazy in standard zombies for Midnight Hunt. It's just, if you're going to play zombies, there's no reason to not put this fucking card in there.
He's very good.
It's a 1-drop that's guaranteed to get bigger. It's not necessarily great late game, but, like, who cares? Fucking throw it down. You're playing zombies, so shit's just going to come out of the graveyard anyway. And if you play it late game, it's a 1-drop for a body you can sacrifice and fucking make Grimgrin bigger or whatever dumb shit you want to do.
Yeah.
I do have a backup zombie because I've always loved this zombie. It's from Gatecrash. It is Corpse Blockade.
Yeah.
It's 2 colorless and a black mana for a defender zombie. It's 1/4. Sacrifice another creature. Corpse Blockade gains Death Touch until end of turn. The art is literally just a wall of fucking zombies. The flavor text is what sets this over for me. There are laws against it, but the dead have no one to complain to, and the living are too frightened to investigate.
Very good.
So the Corpse Blockade persists, but not actual persist, like in Magic.
Not that kind of persist. I actually do have one more zombie because I forgot that I had this. I have a runner-up. Also from Midnight Hunt, Larder Zombie, which he just costs a blue. He's a 1/3 with Defender. Tap 3 untapped creatures you control. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it in your graveyard. That's that's all right. I just picked him because I love the art. It's just a zombie with a missing arm. He's holding like a brain in a jar. There's our daily brain in the jar reference. And he's like trying to eat the jar. I just love that.
Yeah, it's like his nicotine patch.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's great. If you bought any packs, if you bought like 2 boxes of Midnight Hunt like we did, buy boxes. You probably have a lot of this card laying around at your house.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
All right, moving right on to vampires. What you got?
I don't have one. I forgot to pick a vampire, apparently.
All right, I have a vampire, so I'm gonna fucking go.
Yeah.
Vampires are pretty near and dear to me, which is ironic because I don't really care for Crimson Vow as a set.
Yeah.
It just felt very one note for me. I'm fine with like Midnight Hunt. Obviously had werewolves, but it had more than werewolves. I feel like Crimson Vow was just straight up vampires. I will say the reskins, the Dracula alt art versions looked fucking phenomenal, and I loved Dracula as a book. I reread that book at least once a year.
Yeah.
I mean, Dracula is just cool. I'm not a big vampire guy in like consuming media. I don't really fucking care about vampires, but Dracula alt art is dope. Anyway, vampires was the first tribe I ran when I was playing Magic. It was my first commander deck. It was my first tried and true deck that was gonna beat other people was vampires, because it's really not that hard to do. They kind of get rolling on their own.
Yeah.
And a big staple of that for me was Captivating Vampire. Captivating Vampire is 1 colorless, 2 black pips for a 2/2. Other vampire creatures you control get +1/+1. Tap 5 untapped vampires you control. Gain control of target creature. It becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
That card is insane. And he also looks like... this is a deep cut, but if you ever heard Aqualung by Jethro Tull, he reminds me of what...
Oh my god, that is a deep cut.
He looks like what I might think Aqualung looks like. So, Aqualung. Yeah. So that's my pick for vampires. What do you got?
I think vampires take themselves too seriously, so I don't want to pick one that's like real serious, like, oh, because it's good or whatever. Like fucking God, what's his name? Markoth or whatever.
Yeah.
Edgar Markov, that guy. Yeah. Fuck that guy.
And it's worth mentioning that we're specifically not picking planeswalkers for these picks. Because otherwise, I would have picked fucking Soren Markov.
Obviously,
that card is sick.
Yeah. And he's also a cool guy, and I wish he were real and would whisk me away.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah.
I met him at summer camp.
You don't know if he goes to a different school.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I picked Discourtesy Clerk. It's from Infinity. So Discourtesy Clerk is black and 3 for a vampire employee, which is now an eternal creature type. When Discourtesy Clerk enters the battlefield, open an attraction. I don't care about that. I'm not even going to read what attractions do. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 3 or more attractions, draw a card and lose 1 life. I really just picked it because of the name. And the art is pretty good.
Yeah. It is pretty good.
The flavor text is pretty good. It says, Myra doesn't pay the vampires to smile, but only because guests found it off-putting. So that's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's a good one. Speaking of tribes that take themselves too seriously, in my opinion, we're going to roll into elves. Elves is a tribe I forgot exists in Magic. Not because I haven't had to face it, because I would like to think it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that'd be nice, right? If I didn't have to deal with elves.
Yeah, elves are just the sorry for saying this because Heather says it. I barely know what it means. Elves are the poosty version of goblins.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's a word that you don't really know what it means, but you know the feeling it invokes.
Yeah.
Poosty.
He's poosty.
Yeah. Elves are poosty. They're just, they got their nose up at you. Who do you got picked for elves?
So this is partly because elves do have their fucking nose up at everybody. I picked Tel Jalad Outrider. It's green and 3 for Elf Warrior. It's a 3/1 protection from artifacts. So you're gonna pay 4 mana for a 3/1 that has protection from artifacts. It's a bad card, and I picked it because I don't like elves, and I wanted to pick a bad elf.
Yeah, I'm picking a staple for elves. It's an elf that everyone has probably run in their deck at least once, especially if you've played Commander.
Yeah.
It is the ultimate in Mana Dork technology.
Yep.
We are talking about the 1 for the 1/1 Llanowar elf.
Yeah.
Tap to add green to your mana pool. That's
the goat.
it. As far as I'm concerned with elves, that's all you ever need to fucking run. Every other elf that taps for 1 green mana and costs 1 for a 1/1 is just a worse version of Llanowar elves.
Yeah.
And if you look at the fucking original card art, if you look at the 4th edition,
oh my god,
Llanowar elf art,
yeah,
it's the most metal shit I've ever seen. It's the biggest downgrade in Magic history. Like, this thing looks like it should be riding on a car in Mad Max and playing fucking a flame-spewing guitar. And then it just goes back to being like a dork. So that's why I wanted to highlight Llanowar elves, because 4th edition Llanowar elf looks like he doesn't fuck. It looks like he kills anyone that tries.
Yeah. No, he absolutely does. It's that art goes fucking hard. Feel free to screenshot.
Yeah. And all he does is tap for green mana. Yeah.
Well,
So, what are we on to next now? We got Gabos.
Fuck yeah.
Cleaning it up. Best for last. One of my favorite tribes. Yeah, they're just as annoying to play against with elves, but they just got more fucking style. So, who do you got for Gabos?
I like that go from fucking 100 down to like 10.
Yeah, that's how I go. That's why it makes it really. Every episode, my goal is to make it so the listener has no idea what volume they need to be listening to the podcast at. And I'm killing it so far, let me tell you.
Oh god, I have one of my favorite card arts for a goblin ever, Goblin Locksmith. He's a red and a 1 for a goblin rogue. Don't know why he needs to be a rogue. I guess because he breaks into buildings. He's a 2/1, and whenever Goblin Locksmith attacks, creatures with a defender can't block this turn. He's not super great, but I just really like his card art because he's like listening to the lock and punching through the window.
He has like a stethoscope, a lockpick, and like something a jeweler would
use to
like examine a diamond.
Yeah. Why does he have that? I don't know, but...
So one hand is picking a lock, while seemingly independent of his own thought, his fist is also just plowing through a window to unlock the door from the inside.
Yeah, very good.
So good. And I would like to think that all goblins are really just goblin, rogue, and then whatever else they're subject is, because they're all rogues. They just do whatever. So, is that all you got?
That's all I got.
I am picking my boy. He's the reason I made a goblin deck. And he is probably the most goblin-iest of goblins. Cranko Mob Boss. He does everything you want a goblin commander to do. He wants everything you want a goblin to do. Because in goblins, you just want to make more goblins. And that's it. That's what he does. 2 colorless, 2 red pips, 3/3. If he had haste, he would be banned. Tap, put X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is the number of goblins you control. It's bad. He makes any deck a goblin deck. You literally don't need other goblins. He triggers off of himself.
Yeah, it's true.
It's bad. So you tap him once, you have 2. Next turn, you have 4. In 2 turns. If you can give him haste, in 2 turns, you have 4 goblins. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Well, I hate that.
Yep. My backup Gabo is something that, I mean, he's super classic for goblins as well. And man, if I know one thing about this guy, he fucking hates mirrors, dude. It is Kiki Jiki. Always fun to say. Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker. He 2 colorless, 3 red pips. He looks literally like he's just here to fucking smash mirrors and go home.
Yeah.
He has haste. 2 attack and defense, because I forgot how to say things. Haste, and he's a 2/2. Tap him, create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature you control. That token has haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So he's basically made to just fucking wombo combo. He wasn't always made that way, but he does. The most, I think, easily repeated, probably most well-known combo with him is him and Zealous Conscripts. Zealous Conscripts, I don't know the cost. I think it's 4. It's probably like a 3/3. It comes in with haste. When it comes in, you untap target creature. It gains haste until end of turn, and you gain control of it. So you just fucking have Kiki Jiki out. Zealous Conscripts comes up. Wait, I forgot the fucking order operations. You copy Zealous Conscripts with Kiki Jiki. It taps. You make that copy gain control of Kiki Jiki. It untaps him. And then you just keep making copies of Zealous Conscripts. And then you swing out with like infinite Zealous Conscripts.
Yeah.
Not hard to do. So, yeah, he's... that's why he can't be my number 1, because he doesn't really care about doing goblin things. He just cares about doing Kiki Jiki things.
It's true.
And Cranko's the boss of the mob, dude. So unless you got anything else, I think that's it for real tribes. Now we can get to the
trash.
Trash.
Yes, trash.
Rudy's got the trash. Let's lead off with something we've talked about quite a few times. We're going to talk about frog trash. Who is your frog pick?
Oh my god, I love the frogs so much. It was really hard to pick just one. But I gotta go with our boy, the Frog Samurai Jade Avenger. Nice fucking voice crack there. The Jade Avenger. He's a 3/1. Like I said, Frog Samurai. Fuck yeah. 2/2 Bushido 2. Whenever he blocks or becomes blocked, he gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Like, actually pretty fucking good for a 2/2. I mean, right. for a 2 mana cost.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. 2/2 when he gets blocked, he becomes a 4/4, and he's for 2.
That's pretty fucking good. I also just really love the art. It's just a frog holding 2 swords.
He's a fucking samurai frog, dude. He's got a mission.
It's fucking so good.
And he's kind of a cutie.
And he's a cutie. Oh, look at him.
Cutie. You got any honorable mentions for Frogos?
Nope.
Nope. We went full in on Bushido Frog. Well, I'm going to be talking about that boy. And that's
Oh,
what we call
yeah.
him. He is the most unwilling of ingredients. It's
Yeah.
unwilling ingredients. He is 1 for a 1/1 with menace. I have a sweet spot in my heart for 1-drops that get static abilities. Like, give me the Almighty Brushwag that's 1 for a 1/1 with trample. Give me any fucking goblin that's 1 for a 1/1 with haste. Give me, but not haste. Haste, I don't know, seems cheap to me to give to a 1/1. Give me the 1 for a 1/1 with menace, where it's like really he's like trying to 1v2. And then he has another ability on top of that, which it's not bad. It's really it's not a bad 1-drop. I'm trying to sell you. Sponsored by Unwilling Ingredient. He's sorry. I guess the 1 mana is black. He's a 1/1 menace. You can pay 2 and a black. Exile Unwilling Ingredient from your graveyard. You draw a card and you lose 1 life. That's not a bad ability. When you got nothing else to fucking do, this is the worst thing to do. Flavor text says, "Don't look at me like that. It was either this or being eaten by a gruff." That's from Dina or Dinah, however you want to say that word, Winterbloom Mage student. Shout out to Dinah, our 1 listener on this podcast.
Thank you, Dinah.
Yeah, she loves Unwilling Ingredient as well. So much that she didn't want to kill it, but she had to.
The actual Dina card, Soul Steeper, is pretty good, actually.
What does it do?
It's a green and a black for 1/3. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. It has another one, but I guess I'll read out the rest of it. You can pay 1, sacrifice another creature. Dina Soul Steeper gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is the sacrificed creature's power. But I don't think anybody's going to be doing that.
No. No. And we could have talked about frogs for forever. We could have a whole frog cast.
Oh my god.
Because
I would have a whole frog cast.
like, Omnibian literally looks like Hypnotoad.
Yeah.
Plaxcaster Frogling looks like it's Kamehameha fucking blasting somebody. The classic Yargle is Yargle.
Oh, yeah,
It's
of course.
no ability. It literally just has a paragraph of flavor text, which is fucking phenomenal. The list goes on, but we have other tribes to talk about.
Unfortunately.
We're going to slide right into Viashinos.
Oh my god. I love my Viashino boys. Oh.
Yeah, I know. You love them so much. You made a deck that is so horrible.
It's really bad.
It's true trash tribal. They might be the truest of the trash tribals because there's no Viashino synergy at all, really.
There isn't, no. And I don't think there's really been a single Viashino that printed that has been good on its own. The closest is my choice for this, actually. Yurlok of Scorched Thrash, or as I like to call him, Yurlok of Scorched Trash, because he makes up my Trash Viashino tribal deck. He is a black, a red, and a green for 1, or I'm sorry, and 1. Wow, 4 mana total. Black, red, green, 1. For a 4/4, Viashino Shaman. He has Vigilance. I don't really... Oh, I guess that matters because of his second ability. So, a player losing unspent mana causes that player to lose that much life, and then you can pay 1 mana and tap him. Each player adds a black, a red, and a green to their mana pool. So, the intention is that you will have everyone generate mana against their will, and then they'll lose life because they won't have any way to spend that mana. That's not what I do. I have Yurlok as my commander because he's a Viashino in the colors that I want. So, yeah. And I just run a bunch of other Viashinos.
Yeah, I will say you and I have tried to work on an actual, maybe some sort of synergy Viashino deck with Agnes the Dragon's Lash. who got printed in New Capenna. He is one colorless, Rakdos, so you can pay either black or red. His mana cost is really weird.
No, he's
so one.
he's black, red, and green. So
yeah, it's just you can opt to pay Rakdos, or you can opt to pay Gruul, and then there's a red pet in there.
Yeah, okay.
He has haste. Whenever a creature you control with haste attacks, create a tapped token, and it's a 3/3. So Agnes,
treasure token. Tap treasure.
Yeah, token. Sorry, trap. You just create a tap token. It doesn't say what it
just a token. It doesn't have a power, toughness, no colors, no abilities.
But it's tapped.
That would be really in line with Yoshino's.
That'd be so funny in an Infinity set or like an unset and create a tap token. It doesn't do anything. Oh god. Anyway, so a lot of Yoshinos have this kind of flicker effect where they come out and they go back into your hand at the end turn. So a lot of them have haste, and also in New Capenna, Blitz was a thing. So there were a lot of creatures where you could pay an extra mana cost. It would have haste, and then it gains the ability when this creature dies. You get to draw a card, and then it dies at the end of your turn because you paid the Blitz cost. So that's kind of what Agnes was created thinking of, and I think it kind of works out with Vioshinos. But then you have to, like, I don't know, add a bunch of cards to it when you really just want to run Vioshinos because they're lizard people. And, yeah, I mean, my Vioshino is going to be Vioshino Sand Swimmer, which I love because it's literally just a lizard that's swimming in sand.
Oh, my God.
He's like the total opposite of Anakin Skywalker. This motherfucker loves sand, dude. He wants it to get everywhere. It's
coarse and it's rough, and I want it everywhere.
2 colorless, 2 red mana. You can pay 1 red mana, flip a coin. If you win the flip, return Vioshino Sand Swimmer to owner's hand. Otherwise, sacrifice Vioshino Sand Swimmer. He's really bad. And in his flavor text says, few swim in a place of such thirst. That sounds like somebody's profile on Tinder. That's like their bio. And Jack's got hiccups.
I do. It's awful. I hate it.
Yeah. Whew. So that's what I got for Vioshinos. And we're going to move right into Vioshinos before they became anthropomorphic lizards. So what do you got?
God.
Holy shit!
Fucking. I have Basking Rootwalla. I love him. I don't care what he does. He's alright. He's a green for a lizard. He's a 1/1. You can pay a green and 1, and he gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn. Oh my god. And he has mana 0. So if you discard him, you can play him for 0. But I just picked him because I love him. He's a good boy, and he has very good art.
Yeah, Blazing Rootwall is pretty dope. And he's actually pretty good in a discard deck. I had him in a Asmarana Mordekaiser Dakota card deck. And
no, you had Blazing Rootwalla in that deck.
Oh fuck, you had Basking Rootwalla.
Yeah.
I can't hear. Yeah, Blazing Rootwalla's cousin is pretty dope, and he's literally just a Rootwalla that looks like somebody set it on fire. And he's not very happy about it. My pick for lizards is Skitter of Lizards, because I can't decide if Skitter is really what a group of lizards is called. I assume so. The art looks like it's got the same energy as Boo, who is everyone's favorite legendary hamster. It looks like somebody threw a fucking lizard at a camera and then took a picture of it. It is 1 red for a 1/1 with multi-kicker, which is multi-kicker cost is 1 colorless and 1 red. You can pay an additional that much any number of times as you cast the spell. So it could be good for late game. It has haste. Skitter of Lizards enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each time it was kicked. And there's worse lizards in this game, that's for sure. I used to have this in a very shitty burn deck I used to run because I was a red deck wins kid for a little bit when I played 60.
No deck can be shitty with Skitter Lizards in it.
That's true. Nope. Honestly, no 60 card mono red deck is truly shitty because it's just fucking angry. It really doesn't matter what you like. So little thought can go into that deck, and you can still do pretty well. My runner-up lizard is Lizard Blades because it's equipment lizard is the creature type, and it's 2 for a 1/1 with double strike, and you can reconfigure it for 2, and equipped creature has double strike, so it's actually a pretty fucking good card. And they're lizard blades. They're blades made out of lizard. Or lizard made out of blades. Either way you flip it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
All right, we're moving on to minions. Wow, we've talked so much.
Yeah.
So, minions, what do you have?
Oh God! Fucking damn it! Ugh. I have. All right. Oh my God.
Well, while you're sorting your life out, I'm just gonna go, I guess.
Okay.
If that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do for my minion pick. I'm picking. I was gonna make a joke about that guy, and I can't think of his name. And he says "Gorls" all the time, and I don't know. And he's got the picture, the meme with him with the gun. What is his name? It's like Groot or something, right? What the fuck is that thing's name?
What?
From the Disney movie series, DreamWorks. The big tall guy with no neck. What the fuck is that guy's name?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dude, he's like evil and like despicable. What is his fucking name?
Despicable Me, that guy?
Yeah.
Groot? God!
Gru. Yes, it's Gru. I forgot why I even brought this up. Wow, this episode is just derailed. I'm picking Painbringer because he brings the pain, and that's pretty cool. It is 2 colorless, 2 black pips for a 1/1, which is not very good. But you can tap and remove any number of cards in your graveyard from the game. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards removed this way.
Wow, how good.
It's not horrible. I mean, it'd be better if he was like a 3/3. My runner-up is, he's not a minion creature type, but this is for something else. So we're not going to talk about him yet, and we're just sticking with Painbringer. So who do you got?
So I have a deck with this guy as the commander. I've mentioned him before. I just picked him because of that. It's Crick, son of Yawgmoth.
Hey, he's pretty good.
Yeah. So he is 3 black Phyrexian mana and 4 for a legendary creature Phyrexian horror minion. Is a 2/2 with lifelink. And for each black in a cost, you may pay 2 life rather than pay that mana. And then whenever you cast a black spell, put a +1/+1 counter on him. So he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a little risky, but not really.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it. We're plowing right through this. Now we're on to Thralls, which we haven't talked about yet. This is probably the first Trash Tribal business that we have not brought up on the podcast.
Yeah, it's almost surprising.
It is surprising, and it's surprising because we just mentioned it to each other when we were trying to pick this, and then we both found out that we had both thought about making Thrall decks before.
Yeah.
It's not that surprising because
Trash
if there's a
tribal.
tribe, yeah, right. If I've looked at more than 3 of the same creature type and they're weird, I've probably tried to make a deck with it before. I tried to make a hag deck. There's only 5 hags in all of Magic, so not that surprising. Who do you got for thralls? Who's representing the tribe?
So there aren't a lot of good thrall creatures. So I picked Debtor's Transport. It's 5 and a black for a thrall. That's all it is. It's a 5/3, and it has Afterlife too. So when it dies, create 2 1/1 white and black spirit creature tokens with flying.
Wow, it's bad in a thrall deck and bad in a spirit
Yeah,
deck.
it's just always bad, but I like the art. He's kind of just like a lumbering boy.
Oh, they're all kind of lumbering boys.
Yeah.
They really crack me up because they're always like huge, muscly things, or they just look like mistakes, and then they have little masks on. They just got little masks on. Especially the ones from Gatecrash. They all have like these little masks on. And they're just like these little guys. I'm picking Treasury Thrall. For me, it is 4 colorless, a white and a black that is Orzhov. If you pay attention to guilds, it's a 4/4 with Extort. Extort is a pretty fucking good ability. It is whenever you cast a spell. When you cast a spell, you may pay 1 black or white mana. So if you are running a mono white deck, you can have creatures that have Extort as an ability in that deck. If you're running a mono black deck or anything with black in it, you can have a creature that has Extort as well because it's not in its cost. So it doesn't like count against your color code or whatever for your deck.
Yeah, because the color is just in the like reminder text. So
Right, so it's like exempt. So worth noting. That's part of the reason why Extort is so good. So anyway, 6 for a 4/4 with Extort. Whenever Treasury Thrall attacks, you may return target artifact, creature, or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. It's not bad. It's pretty okay. There's really not too many things that return enchantments from your graveyard to your hand. Specifically enchantments. There's stuff that returns permanents, but it's got a lot of versatility. It's pretty fucking expensive though. But yeah, he's representing. He's a big boy. He's like veiny and vascular, which makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't really appreciate that. But outside of that, he's pretty good. My runner-up is the guy I tried to mention before. It's Endrick Sar, Master Breeder.
God.
4 colorless and a black for a 2/2, which is fucking horrible. But whenever you play a creature spell, put X 1/1 black Thrall creature tokens into play, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. When you control 7 or more Thralls, sacrifice Endrixar Master Breeder. So he's horrible in a Thrall deck. But it's pretty funny. Yeah, that's it. That's what we got for Trash Tribal. Just representing some tribes that are overlooked. And there's like not a lot of room, but there is some room to move in these tribes. There are things you can do to get stuff going. Especially like frogs with Tatsunari Toad Rider getting printed. That's got a lot of enchantment synergy. So it triggers off of auras. You get to make a frog every time you play an enchantment. You just pump up your frogs with auras, create a 1/1 legendary frog creature that will die when you keep playing enchantments, but it's cool.
Yeah.
This is a little frog.
Someone out there at Wizards is trying to make frogs a thing.
They definitely are. They're trying to make all this shit a thing. They're just doing it quietly, and then one day, out of the blue, we're gonna get a Viashino tribal commander. It's like Tatsunari got printed, and they're like, yeah, we saw you. We knew that frogs were 3 colors. That's the only way that deck was going to work. We got you. We're going to hook you up with Tatsunari. And then Phoenixes got a weird fucking tribal commander in the middle of a commander deck release.
Oh, yeah.
It was like thrown into Prosper, I think. This weird Phoenix tribal commander. And Phoenix, it's Rakdos, and Phoenixes aren't even black. They're always mono red. It was weird. Wizards, what the fuck? Nobody liked Phoenixes. They're so boring. Anyway. I guess we're moving into our second main phase. So, Jack, do you have another beer to drink?
No, I don't. Do you?
Oh, okay. I have more High Life, so I'm probably going to do that. You don't have to listen to me crack them open.
Are you sure you don't want to read out another Untapped review?
Of Miller High Life?
Yeah.
I'll read out my own Untapped review. I'll write it on the spot.
Okay.
It is 5 stars. Checking it in. Miller High Life. Text reads as follows. Enchantment. It's going to cost 1 white and 1 colorless. When Miller High Life enters the battlefield, cheers target opponent. That's it.
Wow.
Because High Life is good and cheap.
Yep.
Flavor text reads, I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this.
All right.
And yeah, that's my Untapped for more High Life. It's dope. I'm living the High Life. And now we're going to go to second main. Actually, Jack.
Yeah.
What you brewing? We don't pause for laugh anymore. We just laugh.
Which
Somebody has to.
Yeah. I am brewing the Peregrine Dynamo. So this is an artifact creature that just came out with Dominaria United. Dominaria United Commander. So it's 3 for 1/5 with haste. You can pay 1 and tap it to copy target activated or triggered ability you control from another legendary source that's not a commander. You may choose new targets for the copy. So, and it is colorless, so it's kind of restrictive in what you can do. But I just thought it would be kind of fun to copy some cool triggers. Like, I mean, even in Dominaria United, there's like Karn Living Legacy. So if you copied the Power Stone, the +1 that creates a Power Stone token that taps for colorless, stuff like that. So, and there's some fun things that you can do. So, Lithoform Engine, you can also copy an activated or triggered ability with that. So if you then copy the ability on Lithoform Engine, you get a bunch of triggered or activated abilities off of that. So I think there's some fun fucky things that you could do with that.
Yeah, it's really fun that it's not legendary creature, it's legendary source. So that really opens up a lot more options for you.
Yeah, and in a singleton format like EDH, then you can only have 1 copy of a legendary anyway. So yeah,
Right.
some fun stuff.
That seems really fun, actually. It's a refreshing twist on an artifact deck, I feel like, because they all kind of they can tend to get one note. It's like, we get it, artifacts are cool. It's weird to have an artifact deck that cares about legendaries and not just other artifacts.
Yeah, and I already have an artifact deck, so I'm kind of considering just turning that one into this.
Oh, that would be so easy.
Yeah.
Because all that shit's like legendary anyway in there.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then it would be fun to have Peregrine Dynamo copying stuff, and then you could still have artifacts care about artifacts.
Right. Yeah.
That's fun. Cool.
Yeah. And there's like, so obviously it mostly copies, well, mostly it only copies legendary sources, so it's kind of a mid to late game thing. But late game, there's some really fun stuff you can do, like with Thran Temporal Gateway, which costs 4. You can pay 4 to tap it to put a historic permanent, which is an artifact, legendary, or saga, from your hand onto the battlefield. So then, if you pay 5 instead, you can basically copy that and put 2 permanents onto the battlefield. Or like Planar Bridge, which costs 6, you can pay 8 to tap it and search for a permanent and put it on the battlefield. So then you get to search for 2 permanents. So it can be pretty explosive, I think. And I think it's also, like you said, just kind of a little more interesting than a run-of-the-mill artifact deck. So, yeah, I might just transform my current one into that. But
that's fun. Do you have the Deck of Many Things in your artifact deck?
I don't. I did consider it, but I didn't put it in there.
Listener, Heather, who is my wife,
the actual
has to listen to this secondhand, is the one listener. Deck of Many Things. If you don't know, it is 5 mana for a legendary artifact. You pay 2, tap it, roll a d20, and subtract the number of cards in your hand. If the result is 0 or less, discard your hand. So if you roll a 1 to a 9, return a card at random from your graveyard to your hand. God, that fucking Taco Bell.
Yeah.
If you roll 10 to 19, you draw 2 cards. If you roll a nat 20 and you have no cards in hand, so it doesn't drop below 20, it's kind of a twofer. You put a creature card from any graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. When that creature dies, its owner loses the game, which is wild.
Yeah, it is. Like if you have an altar or something, you can just sack it.
Yeah, right. And all the power's there. It's pretty funny. And it's obviously made for like a dice rolling. I hate this. I'm so bad at this.
Dice rolling?
The plural? A dice rolling deck.
Yeah.
But whatever, fuck it. It's legendary. Homeboy can copy that shit, and he can do all those things. That'd be really funny.
That would be funny. Oh man, if there's a way to untap him. Oh yeah.
Scepter.
Yeah. Oh, some things to think about. But in the meantime, hey, Xavier.
Yeah.
What you brewing?
That actually made me laugh. That was a real laugh. It was just so long, I wasn't ready for it. Oh. I'm brewing a deck. It is a Thrun the Last Troll deck, and I'm calling it Thrun V1. And you'll find out. You'll find out very quickly why. Thrun the Last Troll. He is from Scars of Mirrodin. I've loved this card since I saw it.
Yeah.
Once again, it's pure nostalgia for me. I remember looking at a foil Thrun sitting in a glass case at the LGS that I grew up playing in and just wishing I had enough money to buy it, or just wishing I could justify spending that much money on this card because it was fucking expensive when it was in standard.
Yeah, when it was in standard, he was like $30 or $40.
Yeah, he's like a foil one is still like $40 because he's a good card.
Also, not to take away from your deck tech, but he's from Mirrodin Besieged.
Whatever, that one. Fuck it, I don't care. It had Mirrodin in it. I killed it on that.
Got it.
I don't mean to brag, but I got like half that shit. Thrun, the Last Troll, 2 colorless, 2 green pips for a 4/4. Legendary creature, Troll Shaman.
Fuck yeah.
Thrun the Last Troll can't be countered. Thrun can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control, so he's got hexproof. Pay 1 colorless and 1 green, regenerating. Flavor text: his crime was silence, and now he suffers it eternally. Metal as fuck. Thrun, pretty fucking hard to kill. You really just have to kill him from board wipes or forcing... You have to force me to sack him is the only way he's going to die. Assuming I have mana to regenerate him. That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
So, like, he gets cleared by some board wipes. Unless you're going to make me exile him or sack him, he's not going to die because I'm always going to leave 2 mana up with him. That's kind of the fucking point. This deck's called Thrun v1 because there is exactly 1 other creature in this deck and 1 planeswalker. The other creature is the almighty Brushwag, everyone's favorite.
Oh, fuck yeah. He's almighty, dude.
Dude, he's fucking almighty. He could stand alone. And I can't make him a commander because he's not legendary. That's the only reason. And this is just going to be a pure Voltron Fight Club deck. Green is really good at being like, you think your fucking creature's bigger than mine? Let's find out. And they punch each other. And that's what it is. It's going to... that's my removal, is Thrun punching other stuff. I stacked this deck with enchantments and artifacts and all sorts of stuff. And I'm pretty proud of this one. My 1 planeswalker is Garrick Primal Hunter. He is 2 colorless, 3 green pips. His +1 creates a 3/3 green beast creature token. -3, draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. -6, create a 6/6 green worm creature token for each land you control. So he's very good. Yeah. I mostly have him for his +1 because it creates bodies, just in case somebody's swinging out a lot of stuff at me. I stuffed Thrun, notably, doesn't have trample. And since he's pretty much my 1 creature in this deck, and commander damage is actually going to matter. So I'm really going to want to get past people's blockers, because I'm going to be making Thrun really big and he can't die. And since I only have 1 creature, we want this guy to do everything. So we got cards in here that lets him block additional targets. We got cards that give him vigilance and trample and all the things. And then we stuffed some weird stuff in here.
Always.
We got always. So enchantments matter in this deck as well. Some fun enchantments we got are Compost. I think Game Nights mentioned Compost or something adjacent. There was a run in, what is this? I think is 7th edition a thing? I don't know what the fuck this is. It's got a 7 on it.
Yes, 7th edition is a thing, yeah.
Compost is 1 colorless, 1 green mana for an enchantment. Whenever a black card is put into an opponent's graveyard, you may draw a card. That's pretty fucking good in Commander.
Yeah.
I don't know why more people don't play these cards. It's $2, and it could be put into any green deck and used in a Commander format, and you're probably going to get your mana cost back on that. If you're playing green enchantments in a Commander format, you might as well put Compost in, because you're going to see a return on that. And we have Life Force as well. I love this card. It is 2 green pips for an enchantment. You can pay 2 green and counter target black spell. It is a green counter spell on an enchantment.
Wow.
Very good. Obviously, we will not be buying the alpha version because that card is dummy expensive. But
well, yeah.
I found a version that's 24 cents, so why would I not get that? We got Choke in here. That's an enchantment. Islands don't untap during their controller's untap steps. Wow, that's fucking mean. Gravity Well. 1 colorless mana, 2 green pips. Whenever a creature with flying attacks, it loses flying until end of turn. What the fuck?
That's really good.
Yeah, it's good because I have like 2 cards that give Thrun reach, and I really don't want to put more in because it's kind of hard to find a balance when you need to make one creature do everything. But it's Thrawn or bust, baby.
I'm gonna bust.
We oh god, wow, that was a good one. We have Arborea as well, which I love. This is getting reprinted pretty soon here. It is 2 colorless, 2 green pips for a world enchantment, which we've talked about before. I'm glad they're reprinting more world enchantments. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's just kind of neat. Very neat.
Neat.
Creatures can't attack a player unless that player casts a spell or put a non-token permanent onto the battlefield during their last turn.
Oh, it's confusing.
It's confusing, but the reason it's in this deck is basically, okay, somebody figured out how to ace Thrawn on their turn, and since it's a board wipe, more often than not it's going to be a sorcery, so you're going to have to do it on your turn, right? Next turn, let's say I don't have enough mana to play Thrawn again. I just have to sit there and not play anything, and then nobody can attack me until my next turn.
Yeah.
It's a backup. When you care about only playing one thing, you need something that's going to be able to protect you. So I have 1 copy of Fog. I didn't want to do Turbo Fog, but Fog only needs to count a couple times, really. And there's a card in here that I'm very excited about. It's the most expensive card in this deck. It's $20, and it's Seed Time. And I mostly love it because something about that name and the card art is hilarious. It's just a woman laying on the ground, and there's plants growing over her, and it just says Seed Time. It's you know what time it is.
Seed time.
It's seed time.
Yes, honey.
And it's real seed hours only. It's just a bunch of plants growing. It is 1 green, 1 colorless, instant. Play Seed Time only during your turn. I'm glad they made it an instant.
Yeah.
Take an extra turn after this one if an opponent played a blue spell this turn.
Oh, yeah.
Very conditional, but really funny. Imagine you tried to counter something, and I was like, in response, now I'm taking an extra turn.
Yeah, fucker.
Does that feel good? Oh, God. I'll spend $20 on that, and then if I can get it to work once, it'll be fucking worth every bit of those $20.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I said that too loud. My wife knows how much I spend on Magic cards now.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. And then, I got some stuff that lets me cheese stuff out of the graveyard just in case I need, the 1 enchantment to rule them all and whatever. So, Thrawn's in there. The Brushwag is a backup.
Fuck yeah.
I can't say it too loud because if the Brushwag finds out that he's the backup in this deck, he's going to fuck me up.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I'm ready to Thrawn v1 some people.
That sounds really fun. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. It should be interesting. I threw Zuran Orb in there because I'm sure there's going to be a certain point where I'm hellbent because I've just played everything and I'm just going to have all these lands that I don't know what to do with, and I'm just going to start sacking lands so I can stay alive.
Sack 10 lands, gain 20 life.
Yeah. That's really all I got.
All right. Well, shall we move on to the sideboard then?
Yeah. So, Jack. Okay, I guess listener. Oh, I'm getting bold. Listener. Bear.
Oh, yeah.
Who's in the room with me. Sideboard is when we talk about stuff that's not magic or beer related, or unless we want to talk about beer or magic more. Because it's our podcast, so fuck you. But, Jack, what do you got for your sideboard?
I have nothing. I'm unprepared.
Unprepared. That is 4 for 4, if you're keeping track, which I know you are.
This is episode 5, isn't it?
I don't know. Oh my god, it is episode 5. I think I've said that multiple times, and I just got corrected right at the finish. That's two. That's two for this episode. I've been wrong, glaringly. Oh no, 3 times. Fuck. Does that count? I just keep
It just
looping
keeps
on myself.
building on its-
I just
Oh,
keep being
no.
wrong. I forgot what I was talking about. Jack's got nothing, so I'll go. Guess what we're talking about? Horror movies.
Whoa.
I recently fell in love with the Chucky franchise, which is wild. I've seen Child's Play a lot. I don't know why. I just never dived into the sequels. And man,
Yeah.
there's something special. There's just something special. I don't know what it is. Something about hearing a grown man fully commit to just screaming and swearing at people, knowing that that voice is going to come out of a doll later
Yeah.
in a movie is wonderful.
It's pretty good. Like, if you watch it with
Yeah.
that context, it's pretty fucking incredible.
It is incredible. It's not serious at all. The sequels as they go just get more ridiculous. It's really at Bride of Chucky, it's like, okay, we're starting to breach the unhinged, and then Seed of Chucky is a fucking ride. Seed of Chucky, somehow 2 dolls had a baby. The baby was born with a made in Japan stamp on his arm, so he thinks he's Japanese, but he was raised in Britain, so he's British. And I like, that's not even the craziest shit that happens in that. And then it gets into like gender politics, and it has a pretty good stance on. It's fucking weird. There's a lot of stuff going on in that movie. So yeah, watch Chucky. If you haven't watched the Chucky movies, you should do it. It's fun. If you like Trash Tribal, you'll really like Chucky, and that's the only way I know how to describe it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. So you got anything now?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm not searching for something. I'm just gathering my thoughts. I'm going to talk about video games. You will have your horror movies, I'll have video games. I have been playing a game called Witchwood. But it's
Witchwood.
I hate you. Witchwood is spelled with Y, so WYTCH wood.
I was like, why? That's a weird way to spell wood. Anyway,
It
continue.
is WYYD, and you play as a witch, and there's a lot of like gathering stuff and making witchy ingredients and potions and stuff and stealing people's souls. It's a good time. So, recommend. It's not too expensive. I don't know if it's on anything else, but I've been playing it on Steam. So,
Is it more Skyrim or more Animal Crossing but you're a witch?
more Animal Crossing, but you're a witch, but not really Animal Crossing. It's 2D. It's like top down.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I guess more. Let's go with more.
Destroy all humans too?
No, what?
I don't know. You said you go around and harvest people's souls.
Yeah, but
that
only
game
people that deserve it. So
you probe people for their brains and destroy all humans.
yeah, through their buttholes.
Well, where else are you gonna probe them?
Anyway, play Witchwood. It's good.
Sounds fun. It's good. It's got the flavor. It's that time of the month.
Yeah.
I meant that year, the month of the year.
that time of the wait. That year of the month.
It's October. That's the easy way to say it.
Yeah.
Not whatever the fuck I just said. Oh God, it's been a long one today, and now we're just gonna hit the end step. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're plugging our socials. Follow us on Magic. Oh my fucking God. Magic on Tap on everything except for Twitter, because I barely know how social works, and I don't fucking care about Twitter. Twitter. We're not a news source, so Twitter doesn't matter. Isn't that crazy? That's how we live now.
God, don't.
I can't get it. I can't get into that anymore. Welcome to Magic on Tap, the beer and state of the fucking world review podcast.
Yeah.
But follow us if you
Follow
want.
us on all those things.
Yeah, but if you don't have anything else, through the blood of the wicked, we shall be redeemed. Let us pray. Peace.
Ramen.